If you're like me, Shark Week is one of your favorite times of the year. Perhaps it's the mystery that surrounds these animals that attracts us. Or maybe it's the scary stories of Jaws come to life that reels us in. All we know is that we love Shark Week, and we can't get enough. And with that in mind, let's take a look at a shark attack from the 1700s that has been immortalized in history. Welcome to That Was History. I'm your host, Cliff Langston. In 1778, famous painter John Singleton Copley would complete a painting named simply Watson and the Shark. This painting depicts a tragic scene of 9 sailors trying to rescue a boy from the ocean before a massive shark can sink its teeth into him. The viewer is left with an eerie feeling of uncertainty about the fate of this young boy. Fortunately for you, I've got the details of what really happened. You see, the Watson and the Shark painting is actually based on the real-life shark attack that happened to Sir Brook Watson in 1749. Watson, who was 14 years old at the time, was swimming by himself in Havana Harbor, which is located in Cuba. He was attacked twice by the shark. During the first attack, the shark bit off flesh from Watson's right leg. The second time, it took his entire right foot. Thankfully, Watson was rescued by his shipmates, but his leg would have to be amputated at the knee, and it would take 3 months for him to recover. So how exactly does a merchant sailor convince renowned artist John Singleton Copley to recreate his ordeal in a painting that the world can still enjoy to this day? It all has to do with what Sir Brook Watson was able to achieve after his shark attack. In the 1750s, he served as commissary to several British officers throughout the 7 Years' War. Due to this, he became known as the Wooden-Legged Commissary. In 1759, Watson would return to London to continue his mercantile career and would find success there, as well as in Montreal and Boston. He even meddled in government business, leading up to the American Revolutionary War. For example, Watson would intercept letters written to British General Thomas Gage that supposedly contained proof that Gage was a spy. On the flip side, Watson was also accused of developing relationships with American leaders in order to obtain important information and relay it back to the British. It was at this point in his life that Watson would finally meet John Singleton Copley in 1774. We aren't exactly sure how they met, but the two main theories are that they either met on the same ship, traveling from Boston to England, or that they met sometime in London. As mentioned earlier, Copley wouldn't finish the painting until 1778. Watson and the Shark was put on display at the Royal Academy of Arts that same year and became very popular. An interesting note is that modern experts believe that it is very likely that Copley had never seen a shark because he included features that sharks do not have. For example, the shark was given lips, eyes that face forward, and I also noticed that this fin looks very round, which isn't the case for the majority of sharks that I've seen. Copley would end up producing 3 versions of the painting. The third version contains a shark that is much closer in appearance to what we recognize. In addition to that, I noticed that Copley put more emphasis on the blood and exposed bone in Watson's leg in the third version, which makes for a more dramatic image. The painting would remain in Watson's possession until his death in 1807. He noted in his will that he would like for the painting to be given to Christ's Hospital to be hung up in the hall for their hospital as holding out a most useful lesson to youth. The hospital accepted the painting in 1819. The National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. purchased the painting in 1963, which is where it remains on display. Copley's second version of Watson and the Shark is now at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, and the third version is at the Detroit Institute of Arts. Watson continued to climb the status ladder, all the way up until his death. In the last 25 years of his life, he held all kinds of political titles, including Member of Parliament for the City of London, Sheriff, Lord Mayor, Commissary General of England, and Director of the Bank of England. He was also made a baronet in 1803, and his coat of arms even includes his long-lost severed right foot. Sir Brook Watson was dealt a bad hand at a young age, but he was determined to overcome the obstacle, and I'd say he did just that. So what do you think of this story? Leave me a comment with your thoughts and let's talk about it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when we release new videos. History is always being written, which means we've got plenty more to share with you in the future. If you liked this video, check out our other content, including another Shark Week video we made about the USS Indianapolis tragedy. I wouldn't say that the sailors on that ship were as lucky as Brook Watson was. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'm Cliff Langston, and I'll see you next time.